Rassie Erasmus, the man, the myth, the chaos merchant. He's a tactical genius, a rugby villain, and a guy who just can't stop finding loopholes in the laws. From the disco lights he used back in the Cheetahs days to starting games with scrums on purpose. Let's dive into Rassie's greatest hits, and you decide whether he's breaking rugby or making it better. Welcome back to the Rugby Oaks. Join us for the ride. Here we go. Look, back in the day, Rassie in the Cheetahs box, literally using colored lights to signal to players. Reds mean kick, greens mean run, blue means go, and order a castle lager for the boys. It showed early on that he was playing 3D chess while everyone else was still figuring out the ruck laws. Fast forward to 2019, that World Cup final, introducing the bomb squad. Rassie invented the 6-2 split, six forwards on the bench to come on to finish the job like a second wave of Springbok tanks. England thought they'd weathered the storm, but the bomb squad arrived and blew up the scrum. Brutal, legal, genius. Rassie didn't just beat England, he broke their spirits. Look, the move. Dwayne Vermeulen, 2019 World Cup final, pulled a beauty out of the bag, latches onto his teammates' midfield, forces defenders to engage, and suddenly, bang, the maul is formed. England had no idea what hit them. Penalty box, Rassie's fingerprints all over it. Some call it cynical, we call it clever rugby IQ. Drop a comment below if you agree or disagree as you're watching this vid. Reinventing the water boy role. Rassie, not technically coach, Lions tour, coming on the field, passing out a couple of tactics as he went, handing out the drinks, basically directing traffic on field, managing referees, etc. Probably calling out a little Uber Eats between the scrums for the boys back in the box. World Rugby didn't know what hit them. By the time it was banned, the Lions tour was over and the Boks were laughing all the way to the bank. Of course, didn't stop there. 2023 came around. We had that All Blacks game at London. We all know the result. We all know what happened. He introduced the nuke squad, 7-1 split. Of course, you can get one back on the bench to cover like six positions, you know? Who cares? It's chaotic. It's peak Rassie. And we all know what happened next. Don't forget 2023. Damian Willems's scrum call off a mark to get the French boys moving around. He win the penalty kick for touch, and of course soon after that, once again, World Rugby scrambling around to ban Rassie's tactics. Fast forward all the way to last weekend, guys, versus Italy. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the game. Of course, it was an absolutely outstanding result for the Boks. But that start of the match, forcing a scrum off the kickoff. Look, intentionally, of course, could he have got Marnie to kick it out at the line to make a scrum? People might have thought Marnie would have been, oh, that was a bad kick, a bad start. It was so obvious that it was intentional. And while you could argue that there was the catcher stays in front of the kicker, it was absolutely showing us what Rassie intended for the rest of the game. Let's start with the scrum and let's get the grind going. Then twice during that game, the Boks manufactured lineouts in the middle of the field. It's an under 14B. I think it was Paul Ruhr's team is tricked. It has been used before. But look, he's milking penalties that way. Some say bending the rules. Others say it's just South African rugby doing what it does best, breaking opponents' brains. And then, of course, you know, the big question, is Rassie pushing rugby forward or pulling it apart? Is he a tactical genius or the cleverest cheat in the game? Whatever the side you're on, you can't deny that this man has two World Cups. He's got a Lions tour under his belt. He's got Freedom Cups. He's got a couple of rugby championships, and the rest of the world is scrambling to keep up. But here's the thing, guys. Rugby needs personalities like Rassie. We need chaos makers. We need guys who break the mold and drag the sport into the headlines because rugby wants to grow. To pull in a new audience of fans to boost viewerships, it can't just be boring press conference, staying humble. It needs fireworks, and Rassie gives it that. So maybe he's not breaking the game, maybe he's saving it. What do you think? Let us know in the comment. Villain, genius, or both? This has been the Rugby Oaks. If you like what we're doing, smash the comments buttons, hit the subscribe, and remember, there's only one Rassie Erasmus.